Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orbán has escalated his war of words with Ukraine and the West, delivering one of his most combative interviews yet. He declared flatly that Ukraine has lost its sovereignty, insisting that the country survives only because of Western financial and military aid. According to Orbán, Kyiv could collapse within just 24 hours if support from Washington and Brussels were cut off.
Ukraine is not an independent country. Ukraine is not a sovereign country. We keep Ukraine. The West keeps it. We give them our weapons. If we decide, as the West decides, that we will not give a penny tomorrow morning, if Ukraine shuts up, it's over.
Orbán went even further, arguing that the war's outcome has already been decided in Russia's favor. He dismissed any possibility of a Ukrainian battlefield victory, claiming the conflict is essentially over. The Hungarian leader said the only way Ukraine could push back Russian forces is with direct US or NATO troop deployments, a move he warned would plunge the world into a catastrophic global conflict.
The war is over. The Russians have won. It's a closed case. This war cannot be won on the battlefield. Every military expert says Ukraine can win only if 100,000 troops arrive from Western Europe or America. But that means a world war, and no one wants that.
The Hungarian premier also lashed out at NATO and European leaders, accusing them of exaggerating the threat from Moscow and spreading fear to justify escalation. Orbán mocked what he called a culture of military panic across Europe, describing Russia as fundamentally weak, compared to the collective strength of the West. He questioned why, despite superior population, economy and military budgets, Western powers still speak as if they are the vulnerable ones.
Russia cannot harm us. How? Russia is weak compared to us. It is weak militarily, economically, and spiritually. We are the strong ones. We should behave like a strong community. They act as if we are the weak ones. I can't understand that.
Orbán's defiance did not stop at NATO or Brussels. He used the interview to attack the European Union directly, portraying it as yet another foreign occupier trying to dictate Hungary's future. Drawing a sharp historical parallel, Orbán compared EU influence today with the French, German, and Soviet domination Hungary endured in the 20th century, accusing Brussels of behaving just like past foreign rulers.
Mihaly Karolyi was sent to us by the French. Salassi was given power by the Germans. Rákosi was taken by the Russians. And now the people of Brussels want the same thing.
On energy policy, Orbán fiercely defended Hungary's reliance on Russian oil and gas, rejecting both US and EU calls to abandon Moscow as an energy partner. He insisted Russian supplies are not only cheaper, but also safer and more reliable than other alternatives, claiming Hungarian families would ultimately suffer from higher energy prices if Budapest followed Western sanctions.
Gas and oil will surely come from Russia. All other sources are less safe. So the security of Hungary is guaranteed by Russia, and it is cheaper. Why should Hungarian families pay more? These are not complicated things.
Even US President Donald Trump, a longtime ally of Orbán, was not spared. The Hungarian Prime Minister revealed that Trump directly questioned him about Hungary's deals with Russia. Orbán pushed back firmly, stressing that Hungary will never act as a subordinate to Washington, and that Budapest makes its own sovereign decisions regardless of pressure from the United States.
Sometimes we are surprised. So what about Trump and his phone call? Well, it's just about him asking why we buy gas and oil from Russia. I told him, just like I told you before, and he said he understood. There are two sovereign states, and they have sovereign leaders. We are not subordinates of each other.
Orbán concluded by casting the war in Ukraine as nothing more than a Western imperial project. He accused the United States and Europe of seeking to carve up Ukrainian land, resources and agriculture for their own gain, while pretending to defend democracy. His final message was clear. Hungary rejects what he calls an imperialistic war and will continue to defy EU, NATO, Kyiv, and even Washington if necessary.
The Westerners don't want to leave Ukraine. It's a real imperialistic war. They need land, Ukraine, agriculture. Money is behind it. Meanwhile, they act as if they are defending Ukraine, and that's not true.
For Orbán, the message is unmistakable. Hungary will chart its own course, even if it means standing alone against Brussels, NATO, Washington, and Kyiv. His words underline a combative strategy ahead of the elections, portraying himself as the defender of Hungarian sovereignty against what he sees as foreign interference, failed Western wars, and costly energy policies.